And welcome back, everybody. As you've been seeing, we've been watching some of the footage that was shot either yesterday or this morning. But I want to introduce my guest. For those of you who don't know, this is some French guy. We don't really know who he is in the world. No, I'm just kidding. This is Mr. Eric Grauffel. Eric is
Nice to meet you guys.
probably the GOAT of our sport. He won't like me saying all this stuff, but I would put him as the GOAT of our sport. He's won more world titles than most of us have even competed in world shoots. In fact, you won your first world title as a junior, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. 99.
That's incredible. And in a couple of years' time, he's going to be shooting in my geriatric division as a senior. And his goal is to try and win overall as a senior, right?
That's would be the next goal for in open division. That would close the cycle for me.
That would be absolutely incredible. It really would be incredible. And it is doable because we've got Brody McIntosh shooting as a senior now. And I don't remember his score at the moment, but he's right up there.
He is an excellent shooter. I've known him for, decades. I shot with him so many times, and he's been there simply over and over and over again. And it's crazy how good he is, how consistent he is. We don't see him traveling much around. He stays in Australia, but he comes to the major shoots, and he's still here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw him shoot yesterday, and other than he's a little slower, when he's pulling the trigger, he's crazy fast.
He's got crazy splits. He's there. He doesn't make much mistakes. He's just consistent.
Yep. And so some of these short stages where there's no movement, he's right
there.
up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Eric, talk a little bit about World Shoot. You've done this. We've got a whole bunch of things to talk about with Eric, not just this. And we'll kind of go back and forth to some video as well. He can commentate on what he's seeing on the stream. But as far as World Shoots, how many World Shoots have you actually shot?
Well, I got 96 was my first one in Brazil. I came up, if I do remember, I was top 18, second junior at that place. That was it. So top 18 and second junior, so vice world champion by then. And then 99 was the turn for me in the Philippines.
That's the one you won as a junior, right?
As a junior in overall.
How old were you then?
I was, what was that, 18?
18?
18, 19?
Yeah, because it was still 21 at that stage.
Yep.
And then, actually, let's talk about that for a second. It went back to 18. And you had to be under 18 for a while.
Right.
And just last week, they changed it. It's now back to 21 again.
21.
And the reason for that is we lost so many juniors that just couldn't qualify. The U.S., out of 133 people, we only have 2 juniors. We don't even have a junior team. So I think it's a good change. I was actually opposed to it in the past because now you might have a 17, 18-year-old kid competing against somebody who's 20, which is significant, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But it's the only way we can get juniors back in the sport.
That's the only way we get juniors, but the good thing is they moved the age of super junior. So basically you become a junior now from between 18 to 21, and super junior will be 18 and lower. So that means they have their own category, and it's true that I would say 15, 16, 17, 18 are, let's say, still young kids, teenagers, kind of. And then the 18 to 21, they are like younger adults, still young. So they deserve that junior category, I think, and it's fair for them. Of course, we got some exceptions. If you look at Khalil and Bro Texans, who are the 2 famous kids from the Philippines that shoot standard division, those are beasts. But they've been like also shooting so young, so for them it's natural to be on the top classification overall, even being juniors. But in the rest of the world, we don't have enough juniors. We need to bring in more young people into the sport, grow that category way more instead of trying to grow, sorry to say, senior and super senior. The future is on the young one, not on the older one.
Yeah. The average age of the U.S. team that's out here is 48 years old.
Jeez.
And even in the division teams, the 6 division teams, the average age is 43.
Yeah.
So we're definitely getting older, and those people still, because there's... And the interesting thing is in the U.S. we have Steel Challenge, where we have a lot of juniors shooting, and really good.
Yeah.
But they're just not interested in shooting the stages, the IPC/USPSA.
Well, the real question is why?
Yeah.
This I don't know, because in France we don't have Steel Challenge. So either they do ISSF style shooting, so precision shooting, and we try to get them into practical shooting. The only main issue for most parents is the cost. It's an expensive sport. We're playing golf in our own field, and that the main issue is still the money. So we tried to develop a program back in my country, supporting the kids, supporting the juniors. So we have a small amount of money dedicated to them in order to bring them in. But still, it's hard. Last year, I was able to bring like 6 juniors at the European Championship. I had only 15 at the qualifiers in the nationals. So it's not that many. So we need to change that, I mean, for the sport.
And I want to mention something. Eric talked about the French nationals. We had a junior from the US, and I'm trying to think
PCC.
in PCC. And when Eric found out that he was a junior, he called me and he said, "Hey, Leighton, I'm going to put that kid in my squad," meaning in Eric's squad, and he could shoot with Eric. He was so excited. I didn't think he could sleep for a week after that, you know. And that's really awesome of not just Eric, but the French delegation to be able to do that. And it's probably, you know, something that needs to be done more across the world, right?
We have to do that. I mean, it's for them. It's the only way we can grow champions, I believe. Give them the chance to shoot with the guys, with the top guys, see the world in a different way. And yeah, they get the best exposure at that moment. So for them, the learning curve is way more interesting than an older man. Like if you tell me, "Hey, Eric, I'm Leighton, I want to be in your squad," I'd say, "Leighton, give me a kid.
Yeah,
I'll take that."
And he does do that, by the way. I'm not kidding, because I wanted to shoot with Eric too, you know. I said earlier on in the broadcast we were talking with Niels, and I said when I shoot with the top guys, I gain 5%.
Yeah.
Because you guys find things that you would think I would know. I've been shooting for 32 years. I've shot thousands of stages, but it is something. But I love that. And the kid we're talking about, by the way, is Beglav Artisan. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning his name, but he had a blast. He shot really well.
Yeah.
While we talk about kids, I got to bring up your son,
Sure.
Robin, right? So on day one of this World Shoot, Robin and Eric's scores were almost identical. I think you had him by like a point or two,
Half
right?
a point. No, not
Half
even.
a point?
We were in the same point, so
And
half a point.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I wish I could have had you on that day. I would have ridden you into the ground. I would have been like, "Eric, how your kid's catching you, man. It's like time to retire." But that only lasted one day. Eric opened it up a bit the next day, and that was it. I think you were 30, 40 points ahead by the second day.
Now, yes, on him, yes. But it's still, I mean, he shot good, solid. He has his plan. He has his game. He has a goal also. He's so being a junior, he's also the third one in our national team for PDO. So his job is to keep it confirmed the third place on the national level and bring back the points, because if we can target, our first objective is to be on the podium of the PDO team. So I think we have a chance, but it all depends of the group. I mean, it's me, Emil, my son Robin, and also Patrick. So we have a group of 4, pretty solid, but we just need to deliver the work. So he's not here to attack. He's not here to take any points. He has to fight also for junior. There is a very strong junior in PDO from Indonesia. His name Prabu. Excellent shooter, so we have to be careful. He has to be careful, so he has to shoot as much as clean as possible throughout the match. So he can't take risks. He's not here to fight against me. He's here to fight for the team and for himself.
And you know, the funny thing is what you just said now is about half an hour ago, our Revolver team was here, and one of their top 3 guys has gone down. He got hurt, and he's still in the match, but he's suffering. And so the guy that was in 4th is now back in the team. And that's why we have this. You know, there's this thing that the 4th person doesn't count, but you have to shoot as a team. And Rich Wolf, who's kind of their team captain, he was saying that he had to have a chat with everybody, like, you know, it's a long match, like stay at about 90%. And if the guy that's in 4th place, Alex, that got hurt, even if he could just bring 70 or 80%, you just don't know when that's going to be necessary, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Joe, if we could switch over to, is she about ready to shoot? Actually, let's watch this. Do you know her?
No. Stage 20. Oh, yeah, we shot that one. That's a unloaded start. Popper is on the right. Yep, and then you get a swinger in the middle. And outside target, yeah.
So how did you shoot that stage?
Well, if I do remember, so grab the gun, hit the popper first, stationary target on the right side, stand up, get the outside target, and then crossing over, you can see the right side target. So I shoot the right side target, drop 2 in the swinger, but I had a bad call on 1, so I had to pick up 1 more shot on the swinger and then the last static.
So now I'll tell you a secret. I was going to shoot that differently.
Okay.
And then somebody on my team said, Eric said to shoot it this way. and I changed to your way, and it absolutely is the better way to shoot that. So, transition from that far left outside target, crossing over the two. Normally, we don't want to cross over targets because they're right there, but the timing worked better on that.
Yep.
So thank you for that, even though you're not the one that told me. It definitely worked. And that's exactly what I was talking about, is that there's probably, because everyone's going to shoot that roughly the same time. I mean, just the way the stage works, right?
Pretty much.
So an extra half a second that stage is probably 100 positions in the match.
Oh, look at that. That's a junior. That's what we need. So what does he shoot? Open? What's that?
So that would be,
there's a
is this kid? Marathon?
Yeah.
Is that who's up?
Could be standard. It looks like maybe standard. Yes, it is. Standard it is.
Yep, here he is. I think this is... I think that's him there.
Yep.
Bruno, Brazil. Is that Brazil? Oh, no, he's Thailand, so he'd be this person here.
Yeah. Standard junior.
So this is Marathon. I can't pronounce that. European. Let's.
I want you to
Come
try.
on, you're more national than I am. That name.
Jarupian left.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Definitely junior category. Shoot number 535. Let's see how he does. You want to walk him through this, Eric?
Well, he's getting ready for sure. Look at that. He knows what he's doing.
No wrecking the gun. Remember, this is IPSC. Just pull
Yep.
it out, put it down.
Yep. When they changed that rule long time ago, I got a warning for wrecking showing up my gun was clear. And then, so they see the arrow. I remember the arrow telling me, hey, nothing I can do, and got a warning for that. Yeah, pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have shot the popper first anyway, because it's a top swinger, and we can slow it down as much as possible. But then you see when he came up to the window, he shot the two static, so he's doing an extra transition, but they're very nearby. The more transition you get, I mean, the more time you take before you shoot the swinger, the more it slows down, so it makes the swinger easier. So, and that's basically what we did. When we shot the popper static on the external on the left, and then came back into the port, we still shot a static, and then we go for the swinger. We had a spare static just in case you made something wrong. You can still do one swing back and force to the swinger and still catch an extra shot if needed. So
if you guys want to jump over to the stats computer, we can show them his score coming up here in a second. So this is still the score from the previous shooter, obviously, and there he is there now.
yeah, 4 Cs.
See?
4 Cs, 1068. It's a decent time. In shooting standard, he shoots, what is it, minor, yeah. I'm wondering how old is he? Because he looks pretty young.
Yeah, he does. His first shot was at 341. Yeah, we can stay on stage 20. This is a good stage.
Yeah, you see what I didn't like on that stage, it's to go from bottom to the middle port, because you have to stand up, and from the moment you stand up, you widen your stance, and widening your stance, you lose basically most of the time I did it. We were losing the left target inside that port. So at the end, we said, okay, let's go on the external target first, because finally, when we stand up, that's the one we see. And when you turn your head, you directly see that one on the right side. So then you just have to make like a small step forward moving into that port. And then you see the target, then the swinger, and then you end up with the last target.
Yeah, very true. And he shot a 4.8, which is a pretty good hit factor.
Correct.
Again, IPSC hit factors are often around that 4, 5, 6 mark. There we can see it. I'll scroll up to the top there. He had the 4 Charlies.
Yep.
Time of 10.6.
Don't remember what was my time. I shot somewhere around like 7 seconds or something like that. So I'm still making a shot. I had to make up a D to an alpha, because I didn't call. I mean, I had a bad call on that swinger. So.
One of my favorite, I have a lot of favorite stories about Eric, but one of my favorite ones is way back when we were training for 2017 World Shoot. I found a video that you had made online, and I ordered it. Just watch this. That's what you were talking about. So she had to go back to the outside again,
Correct.
which adds time.
It adds time, because you need to make that transition from the port. You basically, when you shoot the port, you're basically almost inside the port. So even if you try to move your gun out straight, you need to bring it back into you and back forward to get to the last board.
And that was Patathida Macau. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names, but were trying. Yep, that was her. It goes blue when they enter the time. Before they enter points, it goes blue, so we can always tell that. But anyway, my story about Eric, Christopher and I were training for the 2017 World Shoot, and I had this video of Eric that he had done, which was awesome. He'd done better than what we get nowadays, where it showed 2 alpha on this target, 2 alpha that target. I think I paid like $100 for this video from Europe. But I remember I watched about 7 stages in, and Eric says, oh, and here on this stage, I shot my first delta of the match. And I'm like, geez, by stage 2, I've normally shot 2 deltas already. And here's Eric. Precision means a big thing. I know you were trained by your dad, weren't you?
Yeah.
And he was tough, wasn't he?
He was hard. He was hard on the Ds. He was hard on mistakes. He was blaming me for everything that went wrong. So there was no room for mistakes.
Yeah, and as often happens in stages, everyone follows what people do, right?
Yep.
They get into this zone instead of thinking, wait a bit, there might be a better way. So you talk about your dad. Your dad was tough.
He was hard. He was hard. He was in the army in the past, so in his life. So everything was really scheduled, timed. The training process has to be like that. So and a lot of people know that story, but I can always tell it. And I remember before being sponsored, and we were at the corner of making a decision. Okay, let's try to make something good in shooting or not. So he said, I'm going to give you all the ammo for you now for a year time. But he said, when we go to training, so the batch of ammo was 500 rounds per training. And he said, the rule is very simple. You shoot a D that you don't call or you don't reshoot, you lose 1 mag. When you run out of mags, we go home. That's simple. So I was like, funny, and so on and so on. But, at 15, first training session, I shot somewhere like 32, 33 rounds. And I was home already. By the time I got 6 mags. Gone. So it's like, okay, never mind. Tomorrow will be another story. Because I was shooting Saturday and Sunday. Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning by then. Because the rest of the week was school. And then Sunday morning, we go back to the range, give me another 500 rounds. And he's like, all right, let's do it again. 38 rounds. And I was home again. I'm like, fuck. That's much less funnier now.
Yeah, that's right.
The week after, I went almost close to 400 rounds. So you see, it took me basically 2 training sessions to start clicking. Mm-hmm. And then it took me, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks to reach the 500s, but I was consistently getting the 400s easily by then. But it took me the 2 hard session of only 35 rounds to shoot to hurt my feeling very badly, and like, damn, I want to shoot, not just that, and then that's it. And then the story started from there, and now on is like, I kept doing this. Okay, you lose a mag, you do this or you do that. Then he implemented of course all new rules with, all right, you screw up push-ups or squatting or what we had to pay. Basically, if you do a mistake, he said very simply, I allow you to do mistakes. The only thing I want is you make corrections on your mistakes. That's all I'm asking.
And it's very well known that Eric, that you have the capacity to dial back a match and shoot at about 90% and then see kind of how it's playing out. And if there's somebody that's close to you, then you bump that up a little bit. Or, that's what's hard for people to beat you. I mean, we know because we've studied you like crazy because, you are, how many world championships you got? I think 9? 9 world championships. That's absolutely incredible. And it's well known. Like I said, somebody came and said to me after day 1 when your son and you were the same score, and they said, oh, it looks like Eric's, getting too old now. His son's. I was like, no. You can never say that about Eric because you have the capacity to step that up. And the same thing, which comes to your dad, you have the capacity to shoot all alphas all the time. I mean, almost all alphas. You are one of the most accurate shooters out there. You're not just fast, right? And I'm sure that comes from the training with your dad.
For sure, 100%. And I'm still putting myself on the edge at practice, asking myself the minimum deltas, the minimum charlies also at training in order to deliver the score. Because you need, at the moment you need to deliver the score at a certain time of the day, at a certain time of a match, you need to trust that you can do it and that you can do it. So you need to bring that at that moment. But for that, you need to be rude on yourself every single day at training. You can just not shoot and say, oh, never mind, I'll do it again. No, it doesn't work. It's done, it's done.
I want to come back to something I made memory of, a note of earlier. You talked about PDO. So he's talking about production optics. And obviously we should carry optics in the States. But just so for those of you guys out there, because PDO is something you might think is production optics light, but we're not talking about production optics light.
No.
Yeah.
PDOL.
That's correct. Yeah, that was different. That didn't last.
That it did last. No, it was just a trial, I think. And well, we had one. I mean, they
World Shoot. Yep.
They gave one title actually.
Correct.
Luke
Cowell.
Luke
Cowell
exactly.
from the United States won that. Yep. And he actually got a slot to this match without qualifying because he technically got a IPSC champion slot. Yeah. So he got to shoot this, and he almost didn't make it.
Jeez.
There was some issue with his flights or whatever the case is. But anyway. So let's go to what you were talking about. So your son Robin is up and coming. He's 17, right?
Yep.
So are you training him different to the way your dad trained you?
Slightly different, but fairly same also in the same way, in the same time. I mean, like now, the last month, he was at the range every single day with just having a Sunday off. So he's got six days training per week. And a minimum rounds of 500 every session. So no matter what, he was after school, before school. If we had to go 6 o'clock in the morning, we were at the range. If we have to go back at the range by 6 p.m., 7 p.m., even if the homework is not done, we go to the range, do what we have to do, and then get back home. So he shot decent volume before that match because we were not sure also the rules will change for the juniors. So technically for him, that was the potential only shot to compete as a junior for the world. So, and we know that we have a bunch of competitors in junior category in PDO, but there is one specifically, Prabu from Indonesia, definitely an excellent, great shooter that will hit also somewhere in the overall top. Yeah, I would say top 16. He should be there. So that means we should have, if everything goes well, I think we could have, 2 juniors within the top 16 this time.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be super awesome.
And you know what people often don't realize is that with 1,800 competitors here, granted a lot of them on pre-match, but there's still 1,100 or 1,200 in the main match.
Main match, yeah.
You know, there are a lot of very, very good shooters.
Oh, yeah.
As you go higher up in the world, you know, level 3, then level 4 is a level 5. This being a level 5. You know, I'm amazed sometimes. Like there's somebody shooting in super senior, my division, that I never even knew about, and he just showed up out of nowhere. Exactly. You know, it's like,
he popped up.
Hey, that's not fair. Like I knew about this guy, but I didn't know about this.
Yep.
There's always somebody out there, right? You just never know, especially worldwide.
Exactly, and that's the funny part of the match. I mean, you have your plan. You know who you're targeting. You know who you're following as your main competitors. And then you have a name that pops out. It's like, ooh, who's that guy? Yeah. And if you're not tracking, if you're not looking at the scores, maybe you won't see him coming. That's even worse. So you need to check, okay, what he's good at, what does he do? You need to check his scores, and hopefully you understand his style, so you can maybe target some places where you can make up some points. If you shoot behind him, if you shoot in front of him, then you need to make an assumption based on the recent statistic you just made. Yeah. So.
Something else I want to point out, and I warned you guys, I have all this knowledge about Eric, not just because he's a good shooter, but also because he's a good friend, and we talk a lot about different things and so forth in the game. In fact, we were talking about optics the other day, and you were calling me on a regular basis, like optics. So optics is the new division, right?
Optics is a new division that we've been a small group of people fighting for this division. I would say the closest division we ever had in IPSC, close to the USPSA, let's say, division, right? Which is your limited optic.
Limited optic. So let's just be clear about that, because there is some confusion. Limited optics in the US is optics on the international side.
Yeah.
There was a discussion between optics and standard optics.
Correct.
But standard optics is not the same thing as limited optics. They're completely different.
Correct. Standard optic was the rules was getting the gun into a box. The sight could be outside the box. Major was allowed, and of course magazine inserted. So we were talking about like 18 rounds mag or 19 rounds mag in major, maybe 20, 21 in minor. Now the optics division is, as I said, the closest one we could make to USPSA. So no box, thumb rests, of course, 141 mags, optics on the slide, lightning cuts, so no boxing, so you can have longer gun, smaller gun, it doesn't matter. But the same basically rules, no comp, no weight stuff, but that's it. All the rest is exactly the same. Beside the rig. The rig also will be slightly different for us.
Yeah, and the rig is going to be behind the hip, right?
Correct.
Let's talk about that. For now, I'm glad you mentioned that. So in the US, we're now allowed to move the magazines around to the front and so on. Do you think it matters? I mean, I bet you could draw the same speed from a holster behind your hip than one in front.
I don't think it does really matter. I mean, on those division, I would say everything we have in optics is closest to race gun that we could have. So at that point, I'm considering the fact that we should let the people do what they want.
Yeah.
Because open optics, production optics, we got 3 different guns, but they are technically race guns. Now, if we go to iron sights, I would say, okay, why not putting them behind the hip bone, because it's more like regular standard carry things whatsoever. But that's it. Other than that, I don't see the point of struggling with hip bone, that, and then you have also confusion. You can see some arrow will tell you, oh, you're good to go. Some arrow, I said like, nah, I don't like it, so please move back your belt. And it's complicated because we are athletes, so we always play on the edge. You know, when you place your rig, your holster, and your patches, you're right on the edge. What you call the edge now might not be the edge tomorrow with another guy.
Yeah.
And then you are in the match, and they ask you to change your setup. And is that correct? I wouldn't say so, because
And it wastes time.
you waste time.
Yeah.
You put pressure on the shooter.
Correct.
And what's the point of doing a gun check in that case if after that they tell you, oh, no, you please move it backward 1 inch or whatsoever.
Yeah. You know, we did a course a few weeks ago, just before the US IPSC Nationals that they had in Cardinal. We did an IPSC RO class in the US. So we're going to be doing more of those in the US so we can train a lot of our ROs and be able to apply the IPSC rules. But we had Alistair from Jamaica come up and teach a class.
Right.
And he said something in the beginning of that class that I really just gelled in I've done lots of RO classes, most times because I let my RO certification lapse, because in fact, to be honest, I'm supposed to have updated it this week. I need to jump on that. But I've done a lot of different RO classes. I like going to the classes. I like seeing the different instructors.
Yep.
And so for somebody to show me something that I haven't seen is unusual, right? But Alistair said something. He said the range officer is there just to make sure that everything functions. He shouldn't be a part of the match. He shouldn't be standing out. In other words, if you step up to the line and he gets engaged with you, now he's becoming part of the match. It's kind of like the referees. We just want them to apply the rules, right? Not be involved in the game.
Yeah, for me, an RO, he's here to smoothen things out and help the shooters, not, blame them.
Right,
So
right.
just put the shooter in the proper position to deliver their own best performance at that time, and then score.
Yeah.
That's, for me, that's...
And most ROs don't want to be involved. They
No.
just they want to do just that.
Correct.
They want to make sure people are happy. And
Correct.
I must be honest, the ROing at this stage, this match has been very good.
I shot 2 areas so far. They're great.
Yeah.
The people are super friendly, super nice, and no argument. They call the shots. You're not happy? Okay, we pull the target. No discussion. We move on, and that's it. It's great.
So, finalize the discussion on optics. So we're looking forward to seeing a bunch of people shooting optics,
Correct.
which is our limited optics, and we'll be able to use the same gun going back and forth between IPSC and USPSA,
Correct.
other than the holster position right
Correct.
now.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. After we take a short break, Eric is going to come back with his son Robin that's sitting over there, and they're going to do their interview in French. You can do a little English if you want, back and forth, but I really want this whole live stream to be an international live stream.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Eric has been a big part of this. I really want to thank you for all your input over the last few months. He's encouraged me. A lot of other people have said it's a great idea, but you've been a big part of this. And when we come to Europe, we start doing streaming events in Europe, then I'm hoping Eric is going to be part of that. In fact, I'm sure you're going to be. So I want to give you the chance as well to give a shout out to your sponsor, not only his sponsor, but also our match sponsor, the main sponsor of the match, CZ.
Yep, CZ. So, yeah, one thing that we can say about optics, and we will have a big surprise here on Saturday at the CZ booth at the match, actually for optics. We're bringing in the new gun designed for that division. So if you're here at the match, if you're listening to it, please come over to the booth. We'll show you the new gun that we have ready for the optics division.
Perfect.
Which will match also the USPSA. So that will bring us also a CZ exposure on the US market and USPSA rules.
Yep. Perfect. We'll do that. As I'm talking to you, Christian walked past behind us. Come stick your head in here, Mr. Christian.
What's up? How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Day off today, so.
Day off? All right.
Say hi.
You going to shoot?
Say hi.
What's up, guys? Christian Seiler here. Day 3, about to crush it. Here, Eric's doing pretty well. We'll keep up the same energy. Let's go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks, Christian. I was going to bring up the little rivalry between you and Christian, right? And I warned Christian I was going to do this, so there's no problem at all with it. He has in mind. But it's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, you guys, you don't shoot open very much, but you can shoot open. Christian, for the most part, shoots open, but he can shoot carry optics.
I'll be back on open. I will give him the race he wants. He's going to beat me anyway, that's for sure, guaranteed. But like
it's
this, he'll be happy. He's a kid. I can't blame that. And as I said, I'm 46 now. I've been there on the market for like over 25 years now. That's a lot. I'm not saying I'm tired. I still like to shoot. I still like to compete. I have that fighter mindset in myself, but I'll be more than happy to give my place to a younger one, 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for that.
And I love that, and another story, again, one of my stories about Eric. So earlier this week, for those of you who don't know, there was a major problem with getting ammunition to the United States, to South Africa. Our ammunition shipment didn't make it, so we had to turn around, send it home. So there was scrambling, trying to find local ammo, trying to find ammunition for everybody, especially people shooting like the open guns, the 38 Super Comp. We had 38 Super Comp ammo loaded here, but they're loaded with 38 Super cases, which most of our guys can't run. So I'm sitting with 1,000 rounds of match ammo I can't use. Fortunately, I was able to bring 11 pounds with me, and we'd get it through. But Eric called me up the other morning, I forget, it was early in the morning here, and said, hey, I've heard about this stuff. I want to make sure that the production optics guys are okay, JJ is okay. They're shooting against each other, and he's literally offering his ammunition to JJ. Yeah. And I know, I mean, I've known you a long time. You're an awesome guy, and you've done a lot for the sport and all this stuff. But I can't tell you how much I think that's amazing. What other sport in the world would a competitor that's up, you and JJ are against each other, not only for individual, but your teams, and yet you're helping him out.
Well, it's on the ammo. It's easy. It's like you're racing cars. You can offer extra fuel or whatsoever. I can't offer him a gun if he can't bring his gun. That won't work for his sponsors. But yeah, it's. I believe it's normal. We here for one chance of a match every 3 years, soon every 4 years. If you can't compete against the best because they don't get the equipment, then the title doesn't have the same taste if you get the title, right?
Yeah.
So
has the little asterisk next to it.
Correct. So you want to have everyone at their best with proper equipment so that everyone can shoot. So for me, it's natural to make sure that I would say all my friends, but also competitors get what they need to compete at their best at that time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the amazing things about our sport is how we help each other. And it's not just this something like this. I've seen it in Rifle World Shoot. One of my a part broke on my JP, and we were sitting here struggling trying to find it. Literally, there's some dude. I don't even know who it is. I literally can't tell you who the guy is. Walking past, he sees what we're doing. He says, "What's wrong?" I said, "Well, this is broken." Todd Jarrett was working on my rifle. And Todd Jarrett's a beast when it comes to that stuff. And this guy said, "Oh, I have one of those." So probably a $2 part.
Yeah.
But it was the difference in me continuing or the end of my match. And I went on to win with Todd and Jerry Mikulik.
Yep.
You've heard of those guys. Went on to win a gold medal with them. And if it hadn't been for that guy, I wouldn't have made it. So that's an amazing. And I tried to pay the guy, and he's like, no, I don't want your money. It's fine. And he doesn't. I don't think he knew who I was, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're just helping the guy.
So it's awesome. All right, before we go to our break, I know I said that a few minutes ago, but there's so much we could talk to Eric about. Let's pull up stats for a second, guys. I want to show you scores. So, Eric, this is as of yesterday, right? Because obviously,
so all today. The PDO guys we're on day off today. So
right. So, and by the way, Eric came in on his day off to come and talk to us because while he's in the match, it's a little hard. It's very hard to get these guys to come and chat to us while they're shooting.
Well, we are all the team also together. We travel with one car, minivan. So it's hard for me to say, guys, wait for another hour for me, so I just go around. So
well, I appreciate you coming in. You texted me last night and said, hey, I can do tomorrow with my day off, and here you are. So, all right, so let's have a look at those scores here. So there you guys are in the top list as of yesterday, 29.78 for the team, and there's your son.
Yep.
He's sitting right there.
Yep.
A few points behind. You obviously turned it up a little yesterday.
I had a better day yesterday than day one. My day one went as good as it should have done. Stupid mistakes, but it is what it is. The second day was way better. Robin had a small mic on one stage. I would say idiotic. He didn't call it, unfortunately. Just one of those partial was no shoot. He shoot just a little bit above. The rest, he shot extremely clean, so nothing special. He doesn't like the weekend, so he was also off on the weekend in terms of time. But the deal was not to be making mistakes on the weekend, so he had to shoot everything. So it's done. No, he's standing right there. I mean, if you look at the score, 967 and 1025 for me, he's about 90, I would say 93, 94% of me, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it's, for now, the best start he ever made in a big match.
Now, we're still competitors, right? I'm trying to beat this guy, even though he shoots production optics. Our team's also doing pretty well. And I want to point out a couple of people. Jacob's only 12 points behind
12 points behind me. Is it's my direct competition right now. It was like 18 or 19 on day one. So that means he won the day over me yesterday, so he got closer. And then, so when I run the numbers, there's a gap for the third place, about 40 points now. So definitely I'll put my eye on Jacob specifically. So it's definitely the type of a match he can destroy me. So I know for me it's going to be harder. There's not enough technical stuff in there, not enough moving targets where I can play with. So the match is definitely not in my favor, not my style. I know I can do it, but I have to work. I will have to work hard, and I know Jacob will work hard also. He wants the title, and it's normal. He's one of the younger kid, and I mean, he's one of the dude that I like a lot in the shooting industry and the sport, and he's like super nice dude. I would say even simple. I mean, you meet him, he talk to everyone. He doesn't know the guy who come to you, hey, what's up, buddy? How did you shoot goes? You know, it's like, I love the kid. The kid is great. He
is a good kid. I've got some good news, bad news for you, Eric. So last night, because we're all staying together, Jacob's there, and the owner of the ranch, the game ranch where we're staying, he doesn't understand very much about this, right? But we're obviously talking about this, and we're talking about the fact that Jacob is much closer to you than he normally would be, because 12 points is basically almost tie, right?
Yeah.
And he said to Jacob, he says, if now we both know Jacob has a how can I put this nicely, has a love for hunting.
Yeah.
Like there's no animal out there that he doesn't want to hunt. You know, like if he's not shooting, he's fishing or hunting, right?
I understand. So he's got to win to have a free hunt.
So the guy offered him, you can go shoot a springbuck for free if you beat Eric Grauffel.
All right.
You should have seen Jacob's face. He was like, are you kidding me? And Jacob's response was, somebody offered him $1,000, he wouldn't care as much, but going to go hunt something, that's theirs. So he has a little added incentive.
Jacob, if you hear me, let's make a deal.
Oh, no, we don't make no bets. I'm too scared of that. Anyway, Eric, we're going to go to a short break here.
Sure.
We'll put some video on, and we're going to get your son Robin in, and you're going to chat with him. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy this, and I look forward to a long period of us working together. Eric and I have been doing stuff with each other and helping each other out for years, so this is just kind of extension of our friendship. But it's really awesome to have you supporting this. And
Pleasure.
Yesterday he shared one of our posts, and it went up by 300% within almost no time.
Cool.
I don't know if it's you or your team, but whoever it was.
Yeah, I did it. So I saw it in the I saw it in the morning because I was already asleep. Yeah, I was already asleep last night. So
and that's what it is. It's teamwork, right? And I mean, Eric doesn't have to prove anything anymore. He's proven everything that's out there. You know, he's like the Rob Latham for us in the U.S. But you have more World Cup titles than him, I think, right?
Yep. I do now. Since Thailand.
It's really awesome to have you still pushing and promoting and helping the sport. We appreciate you.
I love the sport, so I'm going to do everything I can to make the sport live as long as possible and push the sport to new limits if possible.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go to short break, and we'll be back. Don't go away.
See you guys. See you soon.